They're gonna
Get an uglier microphone because I just want to pet it and be its friend forever.
Yeah, it does like fit in the.
Take it all in.
Take it all in.
These are all of my special friends. It may look like I have a lot of pliers.
If you ever do a TikTok, you need to do. These are my ladies.
Oh well, there is a very famous
This is my
picture
lady,
of
Amy.
me. This is what my like my
Like on your-
team's message is this.
That's going on your tombstone.
Yes. It's a double drill maneuver. I have a lot of pliers and they all do very different
And
things.
people thought museums weren't cool. Okay, give me the gist of like what mounts are, and then we can come back around and you can tell me all about your ladies. Tell me about
My
mounts. So you said before, this is the mount shop.
This is the mount shop.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! This is the place where we melt brass. Well, actually, braze it, because melting it would be bad. And mounts are the custom armatures that we design and fabricate to hold the objects in the exhibits. All of these exhibits that you've been looking at,
Yeah.
the artifacts aren't just sitting at the bottom of the case.
Yeah.
They're like, hi, how are you? Hello.
This is my good sign.
This is my good sign. This is my good sign. And so mount makers make sure that it has the good side up and it's feeling happy and it's telling its story.
But sometimes the mounts have a mind of their own. Is that, or the
Yes.
objects have a mind of their
The
own?
objects have their own plans. And so once I get an artifact down into the mount shop and I'm looking at the design plans and I'm talking to the conservators, and then I have an idea of what I want to do. And then I start planning that mount. If this is the invisible object that we're talking about.
Ta-da.
And then the object is like, no.
That is not my good
Oh,
side.
that's not my good side. I
No,
prefer
ma'am.
this instead. And so then I have to make some calls and say, hello, designer,
Physical and mental calls.
physical and mental calls. Could you come down here for a second? Just give me an okay on this. Object is really preferring a different thing. And 9.9 times out of 10, it's cool in the gang. We listen to our objects. They have a lot to say. And if they're feeling sassy, we respect that.
We gotta.
What else are you going to do?
I
They
also
have so
like
many things.
that you told me that depending on the object, you'll listen to
Oh, yes.
the tunes of
The
the object.
tunes.
What are some objects that you've listened specifically to the tunes of its soul?
Van Halen's guitar. A lot of Van Halen. We were listening to a lot of Diamond Dave, David Lee Roth in here. If it's like a time period.
Okay.
So we were working on a huge surfboard mount, and I was listening to a lot of Beach Boys and
I
Turk.
unironically love yacht rock. I don't. And Divorced Dad. Emo music. I
I don't know what that is.
You do. You just don't know the title. I can promise.
I love yacht rock. We do have some of that in here as well, just because it's good vibes.
Yeah.
It's good vibes.
Keeps us.
But we want to keep our objects happy, and so when I'm hearing them, they're talking to me. You know, it's not easy being green when we have Kermit on. You know, when Kermit blesses us with his presence, we like to take part in all of that.
I would need to double my output time. Like I would.
Oh yeah.
I would just the way that I speak to animals when they pass me. If I was here alone with objects, they would. Oh, maybe actually a live stream at all times is what we would take.
It would. I have a lot of conversations with our artifacts. They have so much to say, and if you're willing to listen to them,
I can't get over Dusty Dan up here.
Oh. Yes, from our former maritime hall, and he has his own ID badge, so he comes and goes as he pleases.
So he can walk the halls. Night at the museum.
Night at the museum is. I mean, I'm not here at night, so I don't know. That's none of my business.
I will be.
That's. Oh.
I will be in the rafters, and then when everyone leaves, Dusty Dan and I.
Oh yes.
We're gonna waltz our way through the museum.
There's so much. There's so much. And he's very tall.
Yeah.
Very tall. He's got a
Just like really tall.
He's real big. He's a real big guy.
So I see then on the bottom where you talk about different things need different mounts on the bottom of his shoe. That I would assume is something that held him in place.
Something that held him in place. Now he is what we would have considered a mannequin or a prop.
Okay,
right? So
Not
he's
enough.
not an artifact.
because he's not historically. And now
His my best friend. And so he's at the there, but he's not an accessioned artifact
that's
in
not
the National Collection. No. Because he's real dirty and dusty and he's seen some things, but no. But yeah, this could be considered sort of a bracket or a mount.
Okay.
So to keep him where he needs to be.
Yeah.
And so we have a variety of tools.
This might be a dumb question.
There are no dumb
Do you
questions
have
in
to
mount
be-
making.
Just in life. When you get an object in, do you have to like weigh it, look at it, or does it come with this is the condition of its object, this is its weak points, or are you the one assessing
That's a
its
good
weak
question.
points, its weight, what it can and can't be, touching?
Yes. So touching is very interesting. When I go into a collection space, I
Yeah.
always put my hands in my pockets.
I'm gonna be
Chairman meow or meow if you like cats.
yeah.
And then that way
you're
you're
finding a new cat every time I get distracted by something. I'm like,
the cat distribution system is active in this room.
please choose me.
Please
The
choose me.
universe.
Cats say hello, meow meow.
Now.
We got to keep our hands away from the artifacts.
Yeah.
But not in here. So
Okay.
in here, we have to pick stuff up and touch it. And so usually when I get an artifact in here, it's not the first time I've seen it.
Okay.
I have, if there's some issues with it, if it's unstable, then I've had conversations with the collections manager, with conservation, and they're like, there's a little bit of, fragility, some instability, some wonkiness over here.
Yeah.
So be careful of that. And so sometimes the mounts will help to support that spot
Okay.
and keep it a little bit more stable while it's on display.
Oh.
But a big part of my job is understanding where the weight is, where the balance is.
Okay.
So then I can build a better mount.
Okay.
All at the same time, you want to touch it as little as possible. So
but
also you have to touch it carefully and safely to understand the best placement for the mounts.
Are there in mount making? Are there like the golden rules of mount making of like as the fewest amount of touch points as possible, or it can't be seen? Like, kind of what are the
the number one rule in mount making is don't damage the artifact. That's number one.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. And the rule is kind of 3 points of contact.
Okay.
But it depends on the object. Like sometimes 2 points are okay if it's at an angle and it's feeling cozy, right? But like 3 points is generally like, right. Hello, I'm being held and I'm having a hug and it feels good. But like usually 3 points is kind of the standard. Like you can, but sometimes it needs more than 3 points. Sometimes it has 6 points. It just depends. Everybody's different. And it also depends on how it's displayed. Is it coming off the deck? Is it coming off the floor? Is it on a buildup? Is it coming off the back wall?
Yeah.
Right? Is it sitting in a piece of acrylic like a book cradle?
Oh.
Yeah. That has a lot of contact points, a book cradle.
Is mounts just the thing? There's something I can touch.
Like this?
May I have a fake object, please?
Yeah. Oh.
Maybe the hair clip or the bell. Those feel safe. Oh, perfect.
This is
Wow.
That's
Look at this historic.
That was Abraham
tape.
Lincoln's painter's tape.
He invented it, I'm sure.
I'm sure he did. He was very smart.
His favorite color was yellow. And that, so he had that. Okay, so object mounts my arms, and now I don't really know why I felt the need for this to be visual. I'm kind of stuck. Okay, so is this all mount making or are you also the glass case on top and the stand on the, like, are you building this?
So many good questions.
This?
Yeah. So my job is to make things. Two hands. Oh, two hands. Two hands. Try again. Two hands. So my job and scene. And my job is to make this thing.
Okay.
this
Okay.
thing, right? The armature. Armature.
We are not mature.
Not mature. Armature.
Okay.
That's my job.
Okay.
That we have a whole cabinet shop that builds the furniture.
Ah.
They are amazing.
Okay.
They do steel work and
Cool.
things with wood that I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm picturing you back here with like a soldering iron and like sitting.
Yeah. Oh, I have something even better than a soldering
You're like,
iron.
actually,
we're gonna bring something. That's gonna be crazy. And then, like the case itself, like some cases, there's different ways cases open, and there's like a whole production team that goes into the making of all of that stuff. I'm one cog.
I wasn't figuring out.
Oh,
I wasn't sure what
my
cogs or
God.
wheels.
We're cogs.
Cogs. Worth?
We're Cogsworth.
If it's not Baroque, don't fix it.
It's true. But if you do break it, take it to conservation.
Take it somewhere else.
They'll fix
It wasn't us.
No. Oh, but although if you do break it, you should tell someone
immediately.
You should tell someone immediately. Yes. Yeah.
What sort of experience would someone, if someone is interested in getting into mount making, give me some paths.
Okay, I get asked this question a lot. People are like, I'm sorry, what's your job again exactly? And I said,
Professional crafter.
Right. I do every craft, right? So I do quilting, I do stained glass, I do painting with every kind of medium, I do printmaking. I have been a crafter my entire life. I used to steal my dad's like hammer and bang on things. And so it seemed like I needed to do a job with my hands.
Yeah.
And so I majored in international affairs. So of course,
really,
I applied for a job at the Smithsonian in project management. And I got the job, which was exciting. And I did that for a little while. And then I started doing mount making. I had a background in silversmithing. Because if you think about it,
checks out.
Right? A ring, a setting is like a mount.
It is.
Because you don't want to damage the beautiful stone inside.
Right.
It's just like Abraham Lincoln's painter's tape. Right? So here you go.
Thank you.
And so silversmithing, you learn the basics of how to do hot work, how metal works.
Right.
Then you just
because then you know if it could sit like this or like this.
That's right. What's safest? Are we in an earthquake zone? Right. So then it has to be different.
Like this.
So I knew how to do silversmithing, and our mount maker was retiring.
Okay.
And so I kind of swooped in and learned a lot. Like I had collections, being around collections experience, and then I was crafty, and then they needed a mount maker.
I think there is an aspect of that as well, of tenacity, of like, I can fill this gap.
Yes. I was like, hello, how are you?
Hello, sailor.
I happen to like what's happening. So, and it's been an amazing job. So I think like if people are interested in it, they could go to the International Mount Makers Forum website. And there's like workshops and classes and information. There's links to like people who teach mount making.
Whoa.
And the best way to learn it is to make mounts. So if you can get an internship with a mount maker at a museum, or again, silversmithing is a great way to get in. I know some mount makers that were model makers, so that like, you saw so many ship models and boat models.
Yeah, who made those? Did they came in?
I know a mount maker that made some of those.
There is over 60 model ships of all different sizes in the On the Water exhibit where Dusty Dan, what's his name?
He may have been on a boat. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
He's up there. He's got his own agenda.
There are, over 60. It's different. And they have so many details. Yeah.
Mount makers.
Cool.
We love tools and details and tiny things.
I know you said earlier it would ruin museums for me, but for those of us who are especially nosy, what sorts of things can we be on the lookout for when we go to a museum and we're looking at the mounts?
Yes. So usually you can see a stem, right? So a stem is the part that connects like the armature part to like the buildup or the wall. And you're going to see that. And then it's going to lead you to the armature.
Mm.
And so in painting, so a lot of mount makers like to in-paint their mount. So all the parts of the mount that are around the artifact, they paint it to match out the artifact. So you can't even see it. It just like disappears. It's a trick. We're tricksters.
It's floating.
It's floating magic. The museum has a whole plethora of elves, and they're holding things up with magic.
The Keebler elves.
The Keebler
mouse
elves. The mouse elves. And so look for the things that are floating in the air that aren't just sitting on the case deck. They're floating on the wall. They're coming off the wall. And you look for a mount. And you're going to see it. And you're going to see the work of one of my mount making colleagues. And thank you for looking.
Yay. Do you have a favorite mount in the museum? And do you have a favorite mount you've worked on?
So I have a favorite object, and I did do a mount for him. My favorite object is Cookie Monster.
Entertainment
Nation. Well, he's not on display right now.
Whoa.
He was, but he'll come back.
Okay.
He'll come back. He's just like on vacay right now.
He's baking cookies.
He's baking cookies so he can eat them.
Yeah, correct. For everyone to share.
For everyone to share. And I got to work with him and put him on display, and it was like my childhood fantasy. My favorite mount currently in the building is a mount that I did not make.
Okay.
My friend Jen made it, and it's in Entertainment Nation, and it's on the Prince guitar, the Yellow Cloud guitar.
Okay.
And if you look at the front of that object, you cannot see the mount. And then you walk to the back, and you can see the most beautiful mount. And the way that it has been fabricated, the curator wanted to be able to see the back of the guitar.
Okay.
And so it does this gorgeous flow.
Okay.
And it's color matched to perfection. It's my favorite mount in the building.
We talked before about wibbly wobbly. And anyway, we talked about wibbly wobbly objects that need specific
special treatment.
which
Yes.
Is there a specific story of one that needed
Absolutely
some hand holding?
Yes. So we did an it's on display right now, an exhibit on our Gunboat Philadelphia, which is such an incredible artifact. It's humongous.
Yeah.
But to kind of bring the story outside of the conservation area, there are a few artifacts that were found on the gunboat. In the remains of the boat underwater, I'm not a curator, so that's mount maker jargon for fancy archaeology things.
In its guts.
And so there were some shoe buckles, a knee buckle, some spoons, some buttons, and one very sassy frying pan. Sassy frying pan. She has seen something, and it's real big. It's real, like she was under the water for a long time. She was seeing like fish drama, I'm sure, you know? But she is gorgeous. She's like I think she's cast iron. She's gorgeous. And so she's like brown, and she has patina, and she's amazing. But there are some parts of her that have sort of just turned rusty and kind of floated away somewhere.
Too much?
Yes, she saw too much. She had to break herself up for a journey. And so when I
share the wealth.
Sure.
She's
right. She's like, and I'm over here.
Sharing is caring.
I'm over here. Fish stories.
A pan of the people.
A pan for the people, by the people. It's an amazing pan.
People.
And I think about like, she was like the vehicle for cooking food on this gunboat.
Yeah.
Philadelphia. It's amazing. So
she's here now.
She's here now. And I was working on her mount, and I had the design plans, and the designer, it was kind of a small space for her to fit in because she needs room. She's got a story. And so I was trying to get her into that position. And every time I would kind of like work on the little bends and stuff and getting to her, she was like, no, no, thank you so much. And every time I would go into my object cabinet and unlock the doors and I'd open it up, there was a real sassiness about her thing, just her aura of sassiness. And part of it is, and we'll see her, she has all these like little rusty bits that are like, they feel like they could just fall off at any moment, right? So she's sensitive and she's sassy and she deserves to be listened to and looked at. She's gorgeous. So I spoke with the designer. She was okay with making an adjustment to the design plans to accommodate the sassiness. And she's gorgeous.
She rests now in a slightly different.
Yes, and a slightly different angle because that's what she wanted. She was sitting she was just like sitting nicely and she's very happy. And every time I walk by, I'm like, hey girl, hey.
The museum's been around for a while, since the 60s.
It has.
So new exhibits aren't super frequent. They're, not all the time. Not all the time, but there is a new exhibit opening.
Yes.
With just under over a month's time.
It's coming up quickly.
So I'm assuming you've been very busy working on the 250 exhibit. Can you talk to me about, because that's a range of objects that have impacted our histories. How a thread runs through all of the objects.
Exactly.
What sort of challenges in mounting so many different things kind of all at once?
Yeah, that's a great question. So at this museum, I have so many different types of objects. So I'm pretty used to switching gears and going from, a frying pan or a Special Olympics torch or a tiny little ceramic vessel. I can move pretty quickly between all those things. I won't even begin to talk about numismatics and coin mounts because that's a whole nother thing.
I'm so glad you said that word out loud. I've avoided saying it because
numismatics?
Yeah, that and the one for
philatelic?
Yes. Pristine. Yeah.
It's true. It's a big word for such a small thing.
I think hooked on phonics skipped my brain. And so if I ever have something to talk about from an exhibit and I don't say its name, it's because I'm not quite sure how to.
Same.
And I just
switch on by. We love coins. All kinds of coins.
This here object is so beautiful. And it is from this person. And then the name appears on the screen.
Person's name. With a little bell.
With as much respect as I could possibly give it.
All the respect.
Which is actually the respect I'm showing by not attempting to say it.
Exactly.
So anyway,
numismatics. So lots of different kinds of objects. And so for me, it's about being prepared and having all of the mounts done before installation.
Okay.
So that when we have to make little adjustments, that we have the time to do that.
Okay.
And there are so many great artifacts in the 250 show that I'm really excited about. One of them is a humongous surfboard that weighs, 7 million pounds.
Those are the original wood ones?
It's like a huge wood one.
Wow.
It's gorgeous and amazing. And it has a steel mount on it that my friend Justin made, who works in our cabinet shop, because he loves to work in steel because he's amazing. And my only contribution was padding the mount and painting the mount.
Okay.
But it's absolutely stunningly gorgeous. And there are so many different types of objects. I'm really excited for that exhibit to open and everybody to see.
But something like that's that heavy and tall, is it leaning and being supported, or is it being...
It's got a hug.
Or
it's having a hug.
Okay.
It's having a hug. And that's attached to the back wall. It's got a hug type mount of just like, I got you, brother. And that's against the back wall. And then Justin made this beautiful piece on the bottom out of steel. And so there's a piece on the bottom that's like gently holding here with like tabs that are like, you can move around. It's very fancy. It's amazing. And so it's totally safe.
Which is good. I mean, it's in a glass. Yeah, but that's not gonna...
safe from earthquakes. You never know.
I was gonna say, do we get those? But then very famously did have one.
Have that one time.
Yeah.
That one time.
Pretty famously, actually, the answer was yes. Yes, we did.
Rebuild. One earthquake. Yeah. But as a mount maker, I had to think about that.
Yeah. Are there... This might be... But I feel like you would... Are there exhibits in specific locations where mount making is like quite treacherous because of the
earthquake situation?
Is that the biggest threat to mount making, or is like humidity and
earthquakes are a concern?
Okay.
In New Zealand, in Australia,
okay,
Hawaii, California,
okay,
and those are the places that I know about.
Okay.
But I'm sure there are more. But so They specialize
just
in
shake this-
seismic.
Mount
And they will,
making.
at the Getty, California, they have a shake table, an earthquake shake table. And so they test their mounts
Cool.
with a shake table. It is, as a mount maker, very upsetting to watch.
I was thinking it was going to be like a science class. Like I just recently stumbled upon a TikTok video of a bunch of kids having to get an egg across a gap and then like
Oh,
safely roll down. And I
Yeah.
watched it for like 10 minutes. I feel like
They have to like build a
getting it- yeah, 'cause
contraption.
you wanted, it's, you're just grown up. We're just all grown up kids in this line of work.
Clearly.
I would watch stress tests for mouth.
Oh,
I can place.
oh my gosh. It's very stressful.
I'm
It's
sure.
stressful for me
Yeah.
and for the artifact. Yeah. So we
True.
think about it here.
Have to be
We do
prepared.
think because vibrations do happen everywhere. As the Beastie, not the Beastie Boys, the Beach Boys, they talk about good vibrations, but I don't. There's not in mount making at all.
No good vibrations.
We don't like it.
Excessive clapping.
It makes us sad. Sometimes clapping can cause vibrations.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Butterflies can cause hurricanes or whatever
That's
they
what
say.
they say in the movies.
Someone says that.
I believe it.
She's prepared for it.
I'm prepared for it. I am looking for all potential catastrophes. My dad was a lawyer, so
That's a good combination.
yeah.
Are there? I feel like I have to leave you, which is
Do you want to go up and see Sassy Frying Pan? Do you want me to set something on fire?
Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.